welcome to, oh my god! That's amazing. That's actually your potato. No way. Oh my gosh, how long did you have that sitting there?
The whole time.
Oh my god, this is so great. I feel so bad for anybody who's going to listen to this as a podcast and not get to actually see that physically with their eyes.
For audio listeners, I was holding up a potato with a cute little face on it.
Amazing. All right, y'all. Welcome to Spilling the Tea with Susie. I'm Susie, obviously. This is Caitlin, the potato. Okay, so she's better known as Potato Parts Studio. She has an Etsy shop that is amazing. It's my favorite Etsy shop. Like, her stuff is so good. If you haven't checked it out, I have it linked below. So go check it out. She actually just released some new stuff today, which was really cool. Like some little, are they pins? Right?
You can get them as like a pin back or as a magnet, but they're junior, senior detective badges.
I love those.
I was like, what would I want as a kid? And this would be it.
It's so good. So good. So definitely check out her shop if you haven't already. And she's super cool as well as a person. We're going to get to know her tonight. Are you ready?
I was as ready as I will be.
Okay, well, this is on me. I need to actually pull up the questions. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay. So the very first question that you were asked, this is another one that for the random listeners, if you're not in a group chat that we have, you're not going to understand. The first question is, how long is a lemur?
Thank you for asking. I'm so glad you asked that. So the reason why I was talking about lemurs in the first place is because I'm currently trying to do bigger art build projects and stuff, not for Etsy, but like for myself. And nothing is assembled. I disassembled them earlier. I'm making Zaboomafoo.
My childhood.
And so I was very, very excited. I was trying to research Shipaka lemurs, specifically cockerel Shipaka lemurs. I learned that there's more than one kind of Shipaka lemur.
I didn't know this.
All about lemurs. It's lemur time.
Woo, let's do it.
So I was trying to look up as much as I could about Zaboomafoo, and the actual lemur who played the real life lemur leaping parts.
Yeah.
His name was Jovian. And he came from, or was raised by, taken care of, and lived at the Duke University Lemur Center. And so I was like, okay, I'm researching all of this and trying to find out as much as I can. And at some point I find out that you can go visit there. And so I was like, I need to do that.
Oh my
just
God.
Not in the immediate future. So I was like, I've got to plan that trip.
Yeah, seriously.
But among that, on that page, was an email to the primate department, I guess, because of the way that the email is. And so I was like, should I ask them how long a lemur is? Because I was trying to get the dimensions of him so that I can get him as appropriate as I can. And it's really hard to do that with just reference images because they're in all kinds of poses.
Yeah.
And they're never in the one that you want.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to email them, and they're either going to think it's a humongous waste of time, or they're going to think that this is the silliest and most fun thing ever. And so I initially was like, okay, I don't want to email them. They're going to think it's a bother. And so my partner was like, no, you need to email them. This is very silly. And so I do, and I asked them for the total length of a lemur. I asked for the arms specifically, the legs specifically, and the hands and feet specifically. And the one that I was pretty sure they weren't going to have, and they didn't have, was the torso circumference. I was like, I don't think they're going to have measured that, but I'm going to ask anyway. And so I send the email, and then later that night, the person who's in charge of that email as just like a correspondent. Because again, this is to like go on the lemur tours. This is for general questions.
Yeah.
And so the person who's assigned to answer those was like, I will direct you to the person who can help you with this, but here are some pictures in the meantime, because I did also ask for if they have more of Jovian, and if they have any of the front and back of the hands and feet, because those are really hard to find. And so they sent me the coolest picture of like a close-up of a lemur hand.
Oh.
And it's really cool because you can see their little nails too. I never thought about lemur nails, so
never would have considered that.
Right? I was like, I didn't even think of that. So that was really cool to get before the build, because like those are the things that are hard to add later.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, the like specific lemur expert finally responds, and she's like, here's all the information that we have. This is like, I hope this helps. And they were both very amused at what I was doing.
I love it.
So that is why I was trying to figure out how long a lemur is. And in case anyone is curious,
you know we all are. Oh wow!
These are the measurements.
Oh wow!
And they even had the neck circumference.
You have real these are in centimeters and everything. This is wild.
Yeah. So for audio listeners, I'm holding up a piece of paper with all of the measurements that I got, and its trunk/torso is 36 centimeters. The tail they didn't have an exact measurement of, but they said that it was longer than the trunk and their legs. And I didn't clarify whether that was together or each, but as far as we can estimate, it is together.
I would say so probably together, just from like having watched the show recently with my son. They've got long ass tails.
They do. They have super long tails. So that makes the tail, I think it came out to 72 centimeters ish.
Wow.
And then,
okay.
Yeah. Arms are 23.5 centimeters, which is shorter than I thought. Legs 27 centimeters. But here's where the length comes in. Their foot is about 9 centimeters, and their hand is about 10 centimeters.
Interesting.
And their neck circumference is 16 centimeters.
That's a thick neck.
It's a very thick neck. It is exactly as thick as my wrist.
That's wild. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how are you making this? Like, what are you making it from?
So the head itself is out of a type of foam interface. So it has a little bit of depth to it, and it holds itself together structurally. So that's helpful for this, and it's sort of what puppets are normally built out of.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's a thicker foam, but for tiny boys, I prefer this stuff. And if you've ever worked with foam, I don't like touching it because it's kind of rough. And especially if you've got your hand in it, I really don't like touching it.
Okay.
And this has kind of a skin on it, so it feels like
weird. Wow.
So that's his skull, and then the actual body is gonna be just a fur fabric.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's so cool. So are you you're sewing this together and?
Yeah, okay. I don't have a sewing machine, so it's all by hand. So it takes a little bit. Wow. But it goes faster than you think, especially when you get used to hand sewing. But yeah, just sewing it all together. I already made a mock-up, but he's already disassembled because I needed the parts.
Yeah.
Let's see.
His
body is still together.
Oh my goodness.
So right now it just looks like a baby onesie.
It does. That's so funny.
So yeah, and then the back. I know that I'm not going to be consistently using him as a puppet, but I wanted the option to be there, so he's going to have a zipper down the back, exactly where like a person zipper would be, where your hand can go in and up through his neck.
Yeah.
And you can puppet him, or my favorite touch. I just got these today. He's going to be filled with garbanzo beans.
My favorite.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Because that's what they feed him on the show and in real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So have you made puppets before?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Not professionally, but I've made a couple of puppets in the past. And
That's
especially
so
in
wild.
college, I built a few for like school projects.
Are you into puppeteering or only in the making of them?
I love building them, and I'm fine moving them, but I don't like doing the voices.
Okay.
So I would never want to be a puppeteer, but I love the building.
Good for you, man. Yeah, Holly just said iconic, and yes, absolutely. Also, Little Miss Drew, you are always welcome. Anyone is always welcome to add any questions you guys have in the chat, and I will read them out to Caitlin as they come in. She wanted to know if the peanut butter patties are completely gone.
No, I had some self-control. I allowed myself to completely eat the first box, and then I slowly worked my way through the second, and then 2 more are in the freezer so that I can have them another time.
Those are
And
good.
then I got really, really, really lucky when I was going to Joanne one time during the last bits of Joanne. There were actually Girl Scouts next to Joanne, so it's like, I'm gonna get myself a couple more.
Amazing. Oh, I love Girl Scout cookies.
They're so good.
They're so good.
There's
Peanut butter
something
patties are
in
good,
them.
but I'm a Samoa girly.
Oh.
And like Thin Mints, of course.
Yeah, everyone loves the Thin Mints, and I'm just
Thin Mints are
not
good.
like a mint cookie person.
I do. I love mint anything, but you like give me a Samoa any day. Ah. Or actually, I think that's a regional name, so it might be called something different for other people watching. Elle could probably tell you what else it's
Is
called.
it the coconut ones with the like chocolate drizzle on top?
Yeah. Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
I think there was one Girl Scout table that I had gone to because I lucked out and saw 2. The first one had the peanut butter ones that I like,
Mm-hmm.
and the name that I know them by is tagalongs. But again,
Yes,
that's
right.
regional.
You're
Yeah.
right. They're not called
And-
tagalongs here.
it's regional,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the ones that have the like chocolate shortbread cookie on the bottom and then the peanut butter
Oh,
on
yeah,
top,
yeah.
and then it's enveloped in chocolate.
Mm-hmm. So
So
good.
whatever your region knows them as. And then the second Girl Scout table that I encountered did not they were all out of almost everything, and so I was like, okay, I'll try this kind, because I felt bad just walking away.
I mean, good for them though.
Yeah, good for them. I hope that it meant that they sold all of those.
So-
And they didn't just not have any.
They just ate them all.
We just ate them all. We just never got any. So yeah, they didn't have the ones that I wanted, which was sad, and the ones that I tried were not good. So
Oh.
that's unfortunate.
That
But
is
at least I only got 1 box.
Yeah. Pretty sure tagalongs and Samoas are from the same region. That's very possible. I just know them as Samoas, and I've heard them as tagalongs, but I was like, what is that? Same with
East Coast thing.
she said caramel delights. Is that another name for them?
No, but that is, I think, the ones that I tried.
Oh, okay.
Like the brown, whatever it was brownie inspired, and then had like a dollop of caramel in the center, and then
Okay.
like chocolate drizzled on top.
I'm
and
listening.
It was
It wasn't good?
It
Oh.
sounded really good. It sounded
sounds good.
fantastic. But the cookie itself was just like not very flavorful, and it was very dry, but not in like a crispy way. The caramel was fine, but it was not caramel. It was like a frosting, like a caramel flavored frosting.
That's it.
So
Oh.
it was okay, but it wasn't great.
They've corrected us. Samoas and caramel delights are the same thing. Tagalongs and peanut butter patties are the same thing.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you guys. That makes a lot of sense. Adventurefuls is what you tried apparently.
Yes.
So they were an adventure.
They were an adventure. Maybe they're for somebody, but they're not for me.
Oh well, it sounds really good. I feel like
It sounded
if I were to
fantastic.
try to make it myself, and I took a brownie, and I put caramel in the middle, and I drizzled chocolate, I feel like it would turn out really well.
That would be
You know?
exactly what I wanted the cookie
Yeah.
to be.
I feel like it would turn out well.
Yes.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't win them all.
You can't win them all. And they were fine. Like I kept eating them, but they were not addictive like the tagalongs were.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. totally get that. Let's see here. That was a great first question, which, by the way, I know Morgan came in and said hello at one point. Morgan, if you are here, she answered how long a lemur is in extreme detail, and you have to hear it. It's so good.
And some might say it's too much detail.
No, that's so good though. Especially like, I don't know, us millennials like have a very special like bond with Zoboomafoo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes. And also, of course, now that we millennials are reproducing, I'm giving that to my son, and
Like
he loves
that
that
makes me
show.
so happy that you're watching Zoboomafoo with him.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. He will like, when we were watching through the first season, and he was really loving it. He would sit down at the dinner table, and he would like eat something, and then he would pretend to burp, and he would spin around and go Zoboomafoo. It was so cute. So yeah,
That
he
sounds
loves
adorable.
that, and he sings all the songs. He'll be like, "We're going
Aw.
to the closet. We're going on a trip," and I just
still
love
sing
it.
that as an adult.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's such a good show.
It is.
I loved that show as a kid. I remember when I was his age, maybe a little older, and I would make Valentines for my neighbors. I made homemade Zoboomafoo Valentines because I thought that Zoboomafoo was the best show.
I mean, it
So-
is.
Yeah, it is. Zoboomafoo? With the Crack Brothers. Yeah, John says yes, it is the best show.
Yeah.
Wait, America also passed Zoboomafoo onto her toddlers. See, this is A+ parenting that we're achieving here.
Perfect.
Ah, I love it. All right, next question, because we've only gone through one.
We needed to know about lemurs.
I know. We've been streaming for like 17 minutes. We've talked about one thing. Okay, now several people actually wanted to know this. Oh wait, Morgan says Zoboomafoo started her love of animals. Well, not started, but it continued. And Morgan loves her animals.
She does.
That is some Morgan lore, yes. You get it all on Spilling the Tea with Susie. Okay, now several people wanted to know, where did your name come from?
That I was expecting this one to come up because everyone always asks me, and I wish I had an exciting answer, and I don't. I've had the name Potato Parts for over a decade as my PlayStation name, and it was purely because we were like, it was Christmas, we were setting up the PlayStation, and you need to put in a username, and I was like, what's something silly? And like maybe I had seen like potatoes on the counter or something, I don't know, I don't remember that clearly, but I was like, Potato Parts is silly because they don't really have parts. And so that's what I put in there. It was not thought out. And then
What if you
when I
chop the
found
potatoes?
Twitch, you can cut them into parts, but they don't inherently have parts.
Okay.
And so I was like, that's silly. And when I like started watching Twitch as a viewer, you have to set up an account if you want to comment. And so just as a viewer account, I had put in Potato Parts. And as I was like engaging with people and sort of growing and becoming a person that just existed online a little bit more, because people sort of interact with you and they call you by your username on Twitch, I got that attachment to Potato Parts. And so it was just like, it felt like my name.
I love
And
that.
so I was like, I'm just going to keep that. And it makes no sense for my business. It does not like direct for like, here's what I do, here's who I am. It says nothing about that. It's just a silly name.
But it's memorable.
It is, yeah.
It's memorable, and it's cute. And you should show the potato again for those who have just come in.
Oh yeah. Set it up so that it looks like
Oh my word. I love that his little home is a washi tape.
he's so little.
He's so cute. Oh my god. No, I love that it started with a PlayStation name though. Everyone in chat should tell us what their first, like, gamer screen name was, because we need to know. And I will tell you guys mine, and it is really cringe. It's really cringe, okay? But it was a similar situation to Caitlin, where I needed a name. And my brother was helping me, and we had just watched a movie called Zoom Academy for Superheroes, starring Tim Allen and Courtney Cox. Not really the best movie, but it had a stacked cast, shockingly. But yeah, so there was a scene in that movie where they were trying to come up with their superhero names. And the girl who had like telekinesis, Tim Allen's character was like, "How about mental chick?" You know, and it was just like a throwaway line. It was a joke, but like we were trying to come up with a name for my PlayStation gaming, and my brother was like, "How about mental chick?" And I was like, "Just do it." So he put that in. So for years, I was mental chick.
Yeah, that one's not one you want to keep.
So I did not keep it, as you guys can clearly see. All right, so we've got some good ones. We've got Morgan for Dolphins at AOL. We have Wonderstruck Swifty. Ooh, see, that's a good one. Ballet Girl 856. No, that one's really sweet. I like that. Pixie Girl with a U, because I had a pixie cut and I was a girl. That's good. These are cute. You guys have way less cringy names than I had.
I think I had a few bad ones as well. I think my Steam account back in the day might have been Hello There Dead End.
Is that a Nancy joke?
Yeah.
Oh! I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's not cringe. That's a good one.
Yeah, but it's not a name you want to go by.
Yeah. Oh, Maggie's was Glimmergal66.
Ooh.
Now, before I had all of this, my first email address was Little Pinky, because I was a very young child. And I think that's what my great-grandmother called me. Yeah. Wait. Is Tori here? Happy birthday, Tori!
Happy birthday, Tori!
Morgan says after the Morgan for Dolphins, she was XXX Soap Bubble XXX. Little Miss Drew was Disney Girl Forever. That makes sense. You should still be Disney Girl Forever. It's so good. All right. Let's see. What is your favorite version of potatoes?
I think it changes. But right now it's probably baked potato wedges, but specifically I'll cover his little ears so he doesn't hear. But specifically baby golden potatoes.
How dare you?
I know. That's why I had to cover his ears.
But he doesn't have parts.
He has them in his heart.
Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry, we're getting off track.
I'm here to derail things, Susan.
We've gotten through 3 questions.
And I can take us back to lemurs at any time.
Oh, so good. All right, so yes, that is a good way to eat potatoes. Okay, next question. If Nancy was a potato, what kind would she be?
I feel like Nancy is somehow very confusing and very straightforward at the same time. Oh, that's a tough one. Because she's not a fun thing like French fries. I feel like that's more maybe best would be French fries because like everybody loves French fries.
French fries would not ask you about your dead mom.
They would not. No. Maybe something confusing and diversive. Maybe like au gratin potatoes.
Oh, wait. Yes. Those are mysterious. And I love them.
I'm not a huge fan, but the people who love au gratin potatoes love them, and the people who don't.
I just have never met a potato I didn't like, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, of course, I also, like, I have no idea what the difference is between au gratin and scalloped potatoes. So
I
I
don't
might
either.
not be the person to talk to about that.
I don't either. I wouldn't be able to tell you what I think scalloped potatoes are, but au gratin potatoes are the like chopped as you would chop chips and then like kind of layered on top of each other and then a cheese sauce and then baked.
Yes, but I feel like that's scalloped potatoes too.
I don't know what scalloped potatoes are. Is
Hang
the
on.
problem.
Google.
They might be the same thing.
Let's find out. Google, what is the difference
And can you feed them to lemurs?
between au gratin and this has been Googled before. It came up immediately.
Oh.
All right. The main difference between au gratin and scalloped potatoes lies in the addition of cheese and breadcrumbs. Au gratin potatoes typically have cheese and a breadcrumb topping, while scalloped potatoes traditionally do not. I see. Okay.
Interesting.
I see.
So au gratin potatoes are fancied up a little bit.
So it says scalloped potatoes, thinly sliced potatoes, often do not have a breadcrumb topping. Traditionally, scalloped potatoes do not include cheese, though some recipes may add it as a variation. And the sauce is made with a dairy-based sauce thickened with a roux, which is butter and flour, for those who aren't familiar with Bess.
It's ruined.
And then it says au gratin is also thinly sliced potatoes, but typically has a topping of cheese and or breadcrumbs, which are browned in the oven or under a broiler. It incorporates cheese into the sauce and or as a topping. The more cheese, the better, I say. And the sauce is made with a cream sauce, often enhanced with garlic and herbs. Okay, we've learned.
We have learned.
We've learned. Sorry, Elle. Go get food. Don't blame me.
You can't come to a spilling tea with Susie and potato parts and not expect food talk.
Oh my goodness. I know. I'm literally the snacker over here.
I mean, I would have snacks, but we just finished dinner, so I at least have my boba, which comes with snacks inside.
Jealous. I love boba. What's your
We
favorite
lucked
boba?
out. We really, really lucked out because very close to where we live is a really good ramen shop with boba tea there.
I would die.
It's a real problem.
I can imagine. It would be a problem for me. Oh man. Spilling the potatoes with Susie. Peeling the potatoes with Susie.
Peeling the potatoes with Susie.
That sounds a bit more dangerous.
How scandalous.
That would be inappropriate for you too.
You show that.
What's your favorite boba?
My favorite boba, at least from the shop that we go to, is a mocha milk tea. And then it's just normal boba bubbles inside.
Mm-hmm. That sounds so good. I love a good Earl Grey boba.
Oh.
It's good stuff. You're having sushi for dinner? Oh. Man, now that I can slam down some sushi.
Your face really said a lot there.
I love sushi. Oh my gosh. No, my husband was like, we should go somewhere for your birthday, which was about a month ago. And he was like, he's like, there's this sushi place in town that I hear is really, really good. Why don't we go? And I was like, John, I love you. And I love that idea. However, I'm pregnant. And can we go when I'm not pregnant so that I can eat everything? Yeah, exactly, Morgan. I know. I couldn't, and I didn't. I was good.
I mean, good for you, but that sucks.
I know. I do eat sushi currently, just the cooked kind, or yes, the cooked or the veggie kind, like Maggie said. So I'll have or I'll even do, some of them have the fake crab, which I don't love. So I will get those and I'll take the fake crab out. It's cooked and I could eat it, but I don't love it. But I'm from Maryland, so I know good crab, and that's not it. Yes, well, you've lived in Maryland.
Does crabs.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I used to live in Maryland 2 times in life, actually, when I was a little kid. So, like, just before elementary school and early elementary school, we lived in Maryland.
Yeah.
And then about a year ago now, almost a year ago, I moved away
Yeah.
from Maryland.
Yeah. Which I felt so
So
betrayed because we had just become friends, and
I
I was like,
know.
how dare you?
I know. It makes me sad too, but at least I can plan a trip, and there's another
Yes.
ramen shop up there
Yes.
that if you haven't tried, we're gonna try.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah.
We're going, and we're going to have the best ramen date ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Maryland is a great place. We've lost a cool resident, but it's still fine.
I mean, you're great, but Maryland wasn't.
You know, I like where I live. I don't
That's
like
good.
other areas.
Yeah,
Does that make
that's fair.
sense?
I
Yeah.
was so if this is Baltimore and I'm
Mhm.
showing the ring of the circle or of the like outer city highway situation, I'm
Mhm.
explaining for audio listeners. I lived nope, other side. There.
Mhm.
That's really hard to do on a webcam that's flipped.
It really is.
But the northwest, the upper northwest, just outside the ring was where we lived. And I can't remember what that was. It'll come to me right after we end.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't
So,
have to. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the area that we lived was also like right off of Strode or Street Road, and so it was just like immediately into traffic. And so even a few minutes away from us, there was a Wegmans, and to get to it took like 25 minutes
Ugh.
just because it was a horrible traffic situation.
Yeah.
Versus here, we live approximately just as close to the nearest grocery store here, but it takes 5 minutes to get there. So
Yeah.
it is a stark difference.
Yeah. My area's not like that.
Yeah.
But I don't live anywhere near Baltimore.
Which is good.
Yeah. I would venture to say, and anybody who's from Maryland can disagree at their discretion, that the Eastern Shore is nicer. She's nodding. Yeah, I really like where we're at. And we're at like, so if Maryland's shaped like this, like, it's kind of, I shouldn't say this on a stream, it's kind of gun shaped. If you're familiar with the map of America, you would know.
It's a water gun. Don't
It's a,
worry.
yeah, it's a Nerf. So Maryland is shaped like a Nerf. And I'm at the bottom, like, trigger area. And I think that's a much nicer area than, like, over here where the bullets are stored.
The ink cartridges.
Yeah.
I know how guns work.
So that's just me though, you know, and you know, Maryland is not huge, but it's not small, it's not tiny, it's not Delaware. So like there's a vast amount of like the dichotomies are so different.
Yeah.
So just because I like my area doesn't mean that it's like the best, you know. But also there's a lot of, we have everything. We've got it all. You know, we've got the ocean. I'm near the ocean, which I think is why I like that.
Yeah.
But you've also got mountains.
That's pretty cool. Where I lived was not it. There were a number of days that I went down to again, it's gonna come to me later. Downs Park, I think.
Okay.
That might be correct, that might not. Anyway, we went to like a beach that wasn't really a beach, because the one that everyone that I know went to was Sandy Point, and that was always packed because it's the one that everyone knows about, and it is an actual beach. So, the first day that I was trying to go to Sandy Point, it was closed because it was so crowded. They were turning people away, and I just really wanted a beach day. I just moved there, and so my friend found me the Downs Park, and so I went there, and it has like 10 square foot of like beach area. It's a dog park beach.
Yeah.
And then the rest you can at least see the water. So that turned out to be where I wanted to go. And the area where that was really chill. I would have loved to live there because it seemed very peaceful and very quiet and very nice, and away from things.
Yeah.
But alas, I was on this road.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds rough. Yeah. I used to go to a beach near where I used to live in Maryland, where, like, you know where the large, like, huge Bay Bridge is?
I think so.
Like, from, like, Kent Island to Annapolis.
I think so.
Okay. Um, it's like a huge bridge. People are terrified of it.
A bridge.
Yeah. I used to go to a beach over there that was like kind of underneath the bridge, and you could like see, and it was really small, and it was always very empty, and I thought that was the best place. But I don't live anywhere near there anymore. Now I'm by the ocean.
Which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. But I will say summertime is wild.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's always fun.
Oh no.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about Maryland. Where did you get the idea / inspo for the stamp stickers?
So the stamp stickers, I've seen a few other people doing their own stamps, non-Nancy related, just either tourism stamp related or like video game related, but not Nancy. And I was like, these are really, really cool. I wish there were some for Nancy.
Yeah.
And so I made them.
I love them. Oh my goodness. The, what was it called? Where we opened one every day in December? The Advent?
The Advent calendar, yeah.
That was like the best part.
I'm glad that people really liked it, because
so
the idea for it occurred way later than I should have started working on it.
Oh, I'm so glad you did it though. I know that it was like, I know it kind of burned you out, but
no, the burnout has nothing to do with the Advent calendar, and I should clarify that more on social media. I loved being able to do the Advent calendar, and I'm glad that I was able to accomplish it in time, because the reception was also like, everyone was so kind and so lovely about it, and that made it so worth it.
Yeah.
And I would do it again.
You should.
The burnout came from over a decade of just the creative world not being so kind.
Yeah.
And it started back in art school, honestly. And so another insight for anyone who isn't in the group chat, whenever anyone mentions art school, I jump in and I'm like, how can I help? How can I make this a better experience? Because my experience in art school was the worst.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who like prided himself on challenging students, and he did not do it in a healthy way, and you didn't come out of it with a portfolio that you could use and get a job from, and it just ended up burning everybody out in that class. And I learned a lot from that, but unfortunately not enough.
Not in the right
I
way,
kept just
probably.
burning myself out.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, and I could go from there.
Yeah. Well, you also had a pretty terrible job, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So after arts, I'll give the brief version, the briefest I can.
Go for it.
After art school, I had a really hard time finding a job, and that was my undergrad. And I was applying everywhere. And I mean, when I had a hard time finding a job, I had a hard time finding a job at like Target, Walgreens, Taco Bell. Like, I could not find any job.
Yeah.
And eventually I found a Walgreens in another state. So it was like a 45-minute drive to get to a minimum wage job that I didn't want to get to.
Yeah.
And so that was a rough time. And I was like, how do I get myself out? I went, after a lot of like trying other avenues, I went back to grad school, and I studied illustration instead of animation was my undergrad. Studied illustration for my grad. And they kept wanting to just send me back to animation. They're like, that's where more jobs are. And if you know how to do that, that's a better skill. And I'm like, but I don't like it and I don't want to. So, the art school, like, some of my teachers liked me, and that was great. Some of my teachers just like had a different approach and a different style, and I was not the style for them, and that's fair enough. But they set me up with an internship with an animation house, I ended up eventually getting a job at the studio that makes Archer.
Okay.
And I was there for 4 years,
Mhm.
and it was unfortunately in a position where I wasn't able to be very creative, and that environment itself was also pretty challenging. Different story for a different time.
Yeah.
So I was burnt out already, burnt
Yeah.
out more there, and I was searching for a way out of the creative world at that point. And I was like, what else can I do? What other skills can I train in? How can I leave this? And so I tried to get into cybersecurity. And as I was doing that, I found the company that I eventually ended up working for, but as their designer.
Oh.
So it was like so close to me yet so far away.
Yeah.
And that was also a very challenging environment for a lot of different reasons. And so that's why it's just, I started burnt out. I continue to be burnt out.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'd like to be more of an advocate for, is like burnout recovery and just talking about mental health and all that, because it's tough.
It is. Yeah. Well, I love your real series where you're like being real and talking about hard things that nobody talks about, and like it's awesome and it's very helpful, and I look forward to seeing everything else that you have to say about it.
I'm glad, and I appreciate that. And that one's pretty hard, because it's like, do people want to hear this, or is this more just like, okay, yeah, cool, me too?
No, it's helpful.
Like,
it's so helpful, because like everybody deals with burnout at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Because we just live in a society that really glamorizes the grind.
Correct.
And that's just not sustainable for the human body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, burnout recovery is a really important topic, and we definitely need to hear more. Yeah.
And no matter what like phase of burnout you're in, because depending on like what you're looking at, there can be anywhere between like 3 and 7 stages of burnout. But basically, you start off like a little bit crispy and a little bit like, I could take a day off. Like I need a day off, leave me alone. And then just taking that step back and taking a little bit off your plate helps. And then the further along you get to the point where it's like absolutely nothing feels like it helps.
Yeah.
And even quitting your job is no relief. And it's like, I don't enjoy this. I don't want to be here. So it's once you've gotten to that point, and this is for anybody who needs to hear it, it can take years to feel normal again. And just be patient with yourself, be very kind, and just take it slow, take it easy, and you can get there, but it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a mental health thing. Like, which obviously anything having to do with mental health is going to take you time, and you need to be patient with yourself. So it's just yeah. Oh, Elle says, thank you for shedding light on this. I feel seen. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, what you're saying is important and needs to be heard. And I know I appreciate that you make it. So
I'm glad. That encourages me to keep making those.
Good. Yes. Yeah. You've been really, really great about that. I will, however, take this moment to brighten up the pod again, because Elle actually asked us if we would play FMK like 10 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and do that.
I'm just really good at keeping us off track, Susie.
No, you're good. No, this is how the show goes. Like, literally, I get on here and I have like 18 questions. Well, sometimes I have like way more than that if Morgan gets her hands on it. But then like it takes 2 hours to talk about all of these things because we end up on tangents, and just like things happen. Okay, now
we gotta do like a lightning round or something and get through them.
We'll get through them. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay, so I have multiple wheels. Are you familiar with this, right?
I think so.
Okay, so it's FMK. It's Fight, Marry, Kiss. It is with Nancy Drew characters. I have a wheel with every character, which
All
is
of
what
them.
I'm showing on the screen right now. There are 194 characters on here as of right now. I'm pretty sure I'm actually missing a few because I don't think I've edited this since before Key came out. So I only have
Okay.
like Radek and Elka on here, and maybe
I mean,
Oscar.
that's to my advantage because we've played half of Key.
Okay, good. So we have the one with everybody. This is the best wheel. I love this wheel. You never know what's coming. I also have a wheel with just the male characters, for if you're into that, or also just the girl characters. Sometimes it's fun to do all of them. I like all of them. They're all so fun. And then I also have, if you're not into FMK, I have two other options. We have the booty wheel, which is where you actually rank on a scale of 5 the booties from the Nancy Drew characters that come
The
up.
booties aren't going to rank themselves.
The booties are going to rank themselves. Somebody's got to do it, and we do it here on Susie Should Be Sleeping.
You know, we do the hard jobs here.
Exactly. So we've got that, and you can also rank Nancy Drew games. And then the thing about the ranking ones, so the booties and the games, is you cannot know what's coming next when you put them on the scale. So just adds a little extra spice. All right, so all that being said, what would you like to do?
I'm down for anything. What one do you feel like you don't get to do as much as you want to do?
Honestly, I do them all pretty much all the time. Or I did.
Okay.
I mean, we've just started. This is episode 2 of season 4, so we've just started back.
Sure.
But last week we did all 3 wheels and the booty wheel. The only thing we didn't do was rank games. So, I mean, if you want to do them all as well, see if
Sure.
I care. All right, well, we have this wheel with everybody up. So why don't we start with this one?
Okay,
We can move our way through.
perfect.
All right, so with this one, you don't have to do it immediately. Like, you can wait to hear all 3 names before you figure out who you're fighting, Marion.
Fight them all.
You can't do that. That's cheating. However, you are going to want to fight this person, I bet. This is Judge Danforth. Yuck. I don't like him. And he's slouchy. I should sit up straight.
I mean, you should see. I'm like, I'm a shrimp right now.
All right. Anya Middlemeyer. These
Is
are
that
some
the castle one?
Yes.
Okay.
And who's left? Oh, the deep dive, Ralph Gardino.
Which one's he?
He's from Stay Tuned for Danger. He's the security guard.
Oh, is he the security guard?
Yeah.
Okay, he's great. So I think I given my choices.
Which
I'm
are
gonna marry
stellar.
Great. And between fighting or kissing Judge Danforth versus Anya, I'm gonna have to kiss Anya just so it's over with. And then Judge Danforth deserves a beating.
Yes, he does. I'm so with you. That is the absolute correct answer. I don't care what anybody says that there's no right answer. There was a right answer for this one.
There was a right answer to that one.
There was. Oh, that was good. Okay, let's do one more while we're over here because we've been streaming for like an hour and like we've just been vibing,
Yapping away.
So yeah, that's what we do. Usually I yap to her and she yaps back. Okay, so the next wheel is the all guys wheel.
Okay.
Let's spin it. Ooh, okay. Starting off real strong here, we have a dead guy. It's Bruno Bollet.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting choice. Are we considering him alive? Or
Alive.
considering the corpse?
We'll consider him alive.
An important distinction.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you can't get away from this family. Jason Danforth.
Oh, okay.
So you fought the dad. What are you gonna do to this son? And finally, oh no, Red Knot.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So we have Jason Danforth, Red Knot, and who was the last one?
Red Knot was the last one. Who was the first
No,
one?
no, no, the first one, I should say.
Where are my results? Hold on. Don't I have results here? Oh wait, I do. I already forget. It was somebody good. It was Bruno Bollet.
Bruno Bollet, thank you. I'm thinking maybe marry Bruno Bollet, partly because I think he would be really interesting, and then maybe part of his estate would go to me upon his death, and that's an interesting estate to be a part of.
Do you want that?
I mean, it adds to life's curiosities, you know?
Emphasis on curious. Yeah.
You get a lot of pets.
You do?
Who doesn't want pets?
Who doesn't want Bernie the alligator?
You know, Iggy's got to go to somebody.
Iggy is awesome.
Iggy is a gem.
Yes.
So marry Bruno Bollet purely for Iggy's sake.
Okay. You would be Henry Bollet's aunt. Step aunt.
Step aunt?
Step aunt.
An interesting connection.
Sorry, go on.
I should clarify that I'm also assuming that I'm within an appropriate age range to Bruno Bollet in this imaginary scenario.
So we've gone back in time.
We have, yes. We have.
Quite a bit as well.
Or I've gone ahead in time.
Okay,
So either I've aged up or he's aged down.
Maybe both. Maybe you've met in the middle. Maybe it's like the 80s. And you're both like 50.
Yeah. And we're both like super weirdly into animals, you know? And I'm like, hey, let's get a lemur. And he's like, I'm down.
He would be as well.
He would be.
He would
be. We'd get that lemur. So we've Bruno Bollet, and then Red Knot and Jason Danforth.
I'm sorry.
That was tough because they both kind of deserve a little
They do. They do. One is hotter though, I will say.
One is more attractive than the other for sure, but does that weigh out the deeds that they've accomplished?
I'm gonna let you answer before I answer.
I feel like if we're going, like, if I don't know anything about them, I obviously kiss Jason and fight Red Knot. But knowing about them is where it makes it hard. Because...
Listen, all I have to say on the matter is one of the above positions himself in a tree at night with binoculars.
It's not great. It's not a good look.
It's not good.
It's not a good look. But, you know, maybe giving him one kiss might keep him away. It's enough to keep him going. And then,
No, don't
and
do
then
it.
you move away and never talk to him again. Plus, who's to say I don't fight him after I kiss, you know?
Okay. There is a loophole there.
Or like a poison dart frog situation, like poison your lips.
Wow. You know, it's your game. You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna murder them all.
Well, that was fun. That was so uplifting. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the next question was, did you study anything graphic design related? Which I feel like you sort of already answered, but you can go further into that if you'd like.
Yeah, for my undergrad, I studied animation. For my grad school, I studied illustration. As for why, when I was considering careers and considering like what I want to do in college from high school, there were two things that I wanted to do. One was psychology, and that one specifically, I was really interested in like FBI profiling and serial killers and figuring out motives and stuff like that.
Oh, the
and that was like very fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And so I had even done a project on, if anyone ever saw the show Lie to Me, with the like micro expressions and everything, that was very interesting to me, and like body language in general. I'm still fascinated by that, but I did one semester in college on psychology, and I was like, I do like this, and I am interested in this, but I don't want to do it as a career.
It sounds tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And so even trying to be a regular therapist is not like the greatest career path.
It's not for the weak.
It's not for the weak, and it's also not very straightforward and does not pay well.
No.
Unless you're in the like top 1%.
Who is?
Yeah, who is? And so I was like, I think I want to go with what I had also been considering was art school, and I wasn't sure what like specific avenue I wanted to go into. And I wish I had somebody who was like better at explaining options to me.
Oh,
because
you didn't have like a guidance counselor?
A better guidance counselor.
Oh, okay.
Because I had been working with an admissions officer, I don't know, person from the art school that I went to, and she talked with me for a little bit, and she was like, I think you really enjoy animation. It is important to know I didn't really grow up with cartoons.
Oh, really? Okay.
I watched some of them, and especially like PBS and Disney Channel was completely fine, but anything beyond that, my family kind of didn't view cartoons very kindly.
Okay.
And to put it very bluntly, they thought they were stupid.
Okay.
And so there's this like kind of mentality that like cartoons are very childish, and it's, who would watch that? For clarity, for anyone who, you know, needs to hear it, they're not. They're fun.
Yeah.
Have fun with life. But you kind of need that like fun and nostalgia and attachment to do animation.
Yeah.
It is hard work, and it doesn't pay well. So going through the animation program, it was interesting. I did well, and I had even come out with like best portfolio by the end of it, like an actual award. That wasn't just me complimenting my own work.
I figured.
And so, I am the best.
Safe space here. I told you that.
Yeah. Safe space except for myself. And so after I did animation and I was trying to get into it, I was like, this wasn't really the best avenue for me, but I still didn't know enough about the other majors to choose wisely. And so what I enjoyed about the animation wasn't the animation part, it was the drawing. And so I went into illustration.
Yeah.
And because we were on, it was called the communications floor, I was right next to what I should have gone into was graphic design.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, I did go into graphic design. And I left it. I have kind of like the opposite, where I wanted to be in animation.
Oh.
And well, specifically, I really loved storyboard art. And I wanted to go into that, but I ended up in graphic design, and I wouldn't say that I regret like doing it, or that I regret like not going into more like animation and that type of stuff, because I'm not using it. Because I went into the bridal worlds, and I love it here, and I don't ever want to leave. Good. But like graphic design was horrible. Yeah.
I mean, that honestly, in a twisted way, is good to hear.
So, like, that's the thing, is like, it's perfect for some people. Yeah. I enjoy doing artwork, but I enjoy doing it for me, I guess. Yeah. I don't enjoy doing it for people who expect me to read their minds, which is every single client that I ever had. Every client.
And that's why I get asked somewhat regularly, and like I not regularly, but I get asked sometimes for commissions, and I always
me the other day
tiptoe around it. No, you're fine. When it's friends asking me, I'm like, for you, yes, but for like random neighbors and other like strangers, a friend of a friend kind of situation, I'm like, I don't do commissions.
Yeah, I've stopped entirely. I'm like, don't recommend me to your people. Like, I don't want to do it, because it's not only that they expect you to read your mind, it's that they also expect you to do it for nothing. Yes. And they expect you to do it quickly, and to have exactly what they have in their head to be put onto the picture and they won't tell you what it is, and then you make it and they say, wow, that's what you're charging me, even though like they know that I would charge them that, and they're like, actually I could have done this in Microsoft Paint. And I'm like, well, why didn't you then?
Well, why didn't you?
This is something that I heard multiple times. And it just put kind of a bad taste in my mouth, and I left and I never looked back, and I have no regrets. Graphic design is great for some people, not for this people.
No, I will say, if you're dead, and this is for anybody else out there, not Susie specifically, if you are dead set on pursuing art and you don't know what major to pick, graphic design is the one that you can actually get like listed jobs for. So
Yes.
if you're on LinkedIn or wherever, Indeed, wherever trying to find a job, it's going to be graphic design jobs, and more often than not, it's marketing departments
Yes.
who just want somebody who can actually make graphics for that. And that can be a little soul crushing in and of itself for other reasons.
Yeah. You'll
But
be able to find a job
freelancing,
though.
you will be able to find
Yeah.
a job. Yes, graphic design is the like business art that if you want a solid job, go into graphic design. And you can always do your own art on the side.
Yeah.
Always remember that. If you are
Absolutely.
looking into art because you kind of like it and you're iffy and you're debating another career path, for the love of God, go in that other career path. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Go with that other career.
Yes. Oh my god, I cannot agree more. Yeah. But like this is not to crap on the
No.
graphic design career. It is a
No.
wonderful career. It is lucrative
Yeah.
for the people
Yeah.
who enjoy it. Go for it. I have
Go
so
for
many
it.
friends
And
who
just
do
know
it.
what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. And you know, some people really thrive on that.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
I've known some people who are like graphic designers by blood.
Mhm.
And they're like, I remember one very hilarious conversation when I was an intern and we had gone out to get pizza, and there were two graphic designers, and one of them was wearing Keds. And the reason I remember this is because they were debating about what font the Keds logo was.
Ooh.
And the conversation went from like the Keds logo to the Kia car logo and like other various logos and fonts in general. And I'm just like, this is the most graphic designer conversation that you could possibly have. And one of them was like, no, that's Helvetica. 'Cause look at that E. Look at that E. Look at how it's rounded. That is Helvetica. She's like, that is a lot of passion for a font base.
Listen, Helvetica is perfect, okay?
It is a great font.
It's a
It's
great
used in
font.
a lot of places for a reason.
It is, because it's a solid font.
Yeah.
Now, I can talk about typography for a long time. Oh, she's gone. She was like, I will absolutely not talk about typography. We'll see if she comes back. Oh, here she is. Hang on, I gotta let her back in.
Was it me or you?
It was you.
How dare. The computer was like, I'm sorry, you can talk about levers all you want, but fonts?
Don't talk about typography with me around. Fine then. Okay. Jeez.
So you were saying that you can talk about typography?
Dude, I love typography. I love fonts. I love, like, I love judging fonts. Yes, I'm in this really fun group on
It's a big part of
Facebook.
graphic design, and it is like a very invisible part of it
Yes.
until it's visible.
People will, like, not understand the importance of a typeface.
I say it's like pants, but for words.
Yeah.
You gotta dress them up.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I do a lot of crafts, and like people who work with like Cricut stuff don't often understand kerning either, which I was like,
Do you want to explain kerning to people who don't know what kerning is?
so kerning is well, there's two, oh god, this is so it's not complicated, but it's like the space between letters, essentially, y'all, for those who aren't art students. And I'll just leave it at that. But like, it's very important because letters can get smushed together or can be too far apart, and that can cause
Or
so
uneven.
much trouble. It's so bad. So there's also tracking, but it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, it's very fun, and I had a lot of fun with that. And I had this great typography class in college where like I got to make artwork with letters. And oh, it was so cool. I made a like a painting, like a digital painting, just using letters of Rapunzel from Tangled. It was really cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was really cool. But like, yeah, I have always thought that like typography was so fun. And
Yeah, typography is my weak point. So if I ever need typography advice, now I know who to go to.
Oh my god, I'll be like, have you heard of this font?
And I'll be like, tell me everything.
Well, it's kind of funny though, because like, I mean, I'm no expert by any means, you know, I just have like a little bit of an education on it. But I started working at my current place of employment, who I found out that they had paid some graphic designer to make them a logo many years ago. And I had to do some graphic design stuff for them, and I was like, where's the logo? I don't have it. And then I was like, oh my god, you guys don't have it?
They never have it.
They never have it. So I had to remake it myself.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what?
I know this story too well.
It was stupid simple, because I went onto dafont.com and I found the exact 2 fonts that this girl used and put together, and I just remade the logo. It was so sad. I was like, you paid her how much again? But also, could I have that gig?
Right?
Yeah.
I had one teacher in, this was my grad school. He was one of the fun teachers. He was telling us a story about he had gotten one of his first jobs at like some government place that, like, first of all, if you're doing art and working in government, just expect to not be it's not a dream job. I'll say that.
Can't imagine.
And so he was in charge of like pamphlets and flyers and just general graphic
like layout
distribution
stuff. Okay, yeah.
And so they wanted to like redo the flyer, but just all they were changing was the typeface.
Oh no.
And so the ladies who worked in the department, who had been there for decades, they were like, oh, this is going to take all week. And he started to speak up, and he was like, that's going to take 30 minutes. And they were like, no, it's going to take all week.
Oh.
The reason they were doing that is so that they were allowed to have all week to do the job.
Oh.
And that the job was just a lot easier for them.
Interesting.
And they were making it seem like jobs took longer than it was. And at the time I heard the story, I was like, how dare they? They're taking advantage of the people who they work for and all that kind of stuff. After having worked for non-artists, and that is a blanket term, government or not.
Yeah.
After having worked for non-artists, I now understand.
Yeah.
You want to change a typeface, that's going to take all week.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always overestimate a job, and then overestimate and then just deliver more than you say you're going to.
Oh, they'll be so pleased when you do it in 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Art, what a time. I really loved doing layout work. I loved doing magazine spread, like pamphlet stuff. I loved that. I loved not having to do the creative part, which is crazy because like I've always enjoyed art. But truly, I do not want to be the person making the art. I wanted to take all of the elements and make them pretty, you know?
See, I needed you when I was at my last job, because one of my main tasks for my previous job was a zine.
Oh yeah.
And so I was doing the layout and the illustrations and any art that goes with it, like anything
That's a lot
to
of
do
work.
with that zine. It was a lot of work.
That's the work of 2 people.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what I love to do is the art side. And so if I had your skills, I would have been like, it would have worked so good.
It would have worked so good because I loved that. I loved the boring, just like, give me the stuff and I'll make it flow and it will look like a nice magazine and when we're done, you know?
But you do know what this means, though. Is now we have to make our own zine.
But what about?
Oh, what about?
It can't just be
Give me
about
anything
kerning.
you want. Well, the first issue can be.
Issue number 1, kerning. There's also trekking.
Just different articles on all the different type terms.
That's great. Oh my gosh. No, we should revisit that though. Because that would be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Okay. Well, let's leave that there. Let that stew. Okay. Would you rather fight one human-sized potato or 100 potato-sized humans?
Would it be unethical to steam the humans like potatoes?
Yes.
Because if I can't treat the humans like potatoes, then I think I might have to take the potato.
The human-sized potato?
Yeah,
Okay.
because at least that you can just take a solid knife and well, maybe if I cut up the big potato, it'll
Wait.
turn into little potatoes.
Then you have potato parts.
I have potato parts. Living the dream.
I mean, I think we figured it out.
It's a clear answer.
There is a clear answer. Oh my god. Okay. I love the amount of potato related questions.
I love it too.
So, Nancy is called to solve a mystery on a potato farm. Who is she bringing?
I think one of my favorites is Bess, so I'm gonna have to say Bess.
Bess would be great on a potato farm.
Perfect.
I don't know why. But
I don't know why either. It just seems right. She would be so happy about the potatoes. Do you think that she would be excited to like see how they like where they grow? Because I feel like I like that they're all nice and cozy under the dirt, you know, and they grow in little bundles.
Yes, I feel like she would also like not want to be the one taking care of that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want it's fun for like 5 minutes and then you're done.
And then she'd be like, "Wow, I've got my first potato." That's it, right?
That's it. Bye.
She'll go make a roux out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I suppose you could do if you really tried.
I feel like you could combine it with a roux, but I don't think you could make a roux just out of the potato unless you made potato flour.
You could make potato flour, or you could like severely mash the potato and put it into a roux.
You could put it into a roux.
Yeah.
Or is potato milk a thing? Like how almond or oat milk is a thing? Could you milk a potato?
Is mashed potatoes essentially a roux?
I feel like it's an enhanced roux.
It's like a better, tastier roux. It's a final form of
roux-
roux.
Butter, milk, and flour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just an enhanced roux.
It's an enhanced roux. It's like, well, you don't have to add flour to mashed potatoes.
I think we should call them potato roux from now on.
It's potato roux. America says that pulling potatoes up is so satisfying it requires aggression to get them out of the ground, and she loves it. I love that. I have never pulled a potato from the ground, so...
I feel like I have, but also I don't know where I would have. So I think that's a made-up memory.
I pull potatoes from the grocery store. I'm a city
You gotta
girl.
pull them from somewhere.
Okay, now here's an aspect of your creativity that we haven't gotten to talk about yet being brought up. What Nancy Drew character deserves their own rug design?
Oh. I mean, what criteria goes into a rug design?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the one who makes rugs.
I mean, I haven't made many, but sure. I don't know. I feel like either a really, really interesting character that's just like iconic in their own right, or like a really beloved character.
Could it be Sunny June?
Yes, but not the Sunny June we've been given.
Could we have the one from the cover of Shadow Medallion?
Like on Medallion?
Like on the cover, not in the game. Like if we were doing the actual character and not like one of the cartoons. Although we could do one of the cartoons that he draws of himself.
I feel like the cartoons would be fun.
Now wait a second, hold on. Do you know the screensaver from Danger by Design with the aliens?
Yeah, the little aliens one. That was what I was gonna say. Like the little alien one, I think would be a cute rug.
That would be such a good rug.
That would be a cute rug.
Mm-hmm. That would. I would.
So
I would
final answer: the UFO is the character.
Yes. Wait, is it up on my screen right now? Hold on. It's my background. It's not up right now. I cycle through a few backgrounds, but that is one of my backgrounds. So, if you've watched my channel at any point, you've seen it, and you know exactly what we're talking about as well. If you've played Danger by Design. Oh, you've already answered this question, but I loved how Gooba and Jetpack put it, because they quoted Lord of the Rings. Favorite way to eat a potato: boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
I'm a fairly picky eater, and usually it's textural based. So there's a lot of potatoes I won't eat.
Okay,
And
what won't you eat?
weirdly, boiling them, mashing them, or sticking them in a stew, I would eat none of those.
That is horrible.
I'm the worst.
I am so sorry. So no excellent boiled potatoes for you, huh?
Not really, no. It's the mushiness. I can't do the mushy.
So you need it to be like fried or like baked.
Yeah.
I see.
If it's got a little crisp to it in some way, it's okay. Unless it's an au gratin potato, in which case it's still mushy and unacceptable.
That's right. We've already gone into that. Okay. What's your favorite style of art?
That's another tough one, and I feel like it changes, and I feel like it depends on like the context. So for me, it's hard to distinguish and define between like, do I like the aesthetic of it? Do I like the function of it? Do I like what that art accomplishes, or just how it looks? Or is it like, I can respect that as an art, but I don't like it for me? And the best example I have of that is opera. Of like, do not want to listen to it,
Yeah.
but I respect the hell out of opera
Absolutely.
singers. Like,
Very talented.
very skilled.
Uh-huh.
So I think for me, the best like illustration style that I love is usually the previs department in animation. So any like very colorful, very stylized, often influenced by like mid-century designs. Mary Blair is a really popular illustrator from, I think, the 50s, maybe the 60s.
I love Mary Blair.
Mary Blair is such a beautiful artist. If you're unfamiliar with her work, she did a lot of the previs and pre-visualization is what that is, for Alice in Wonderland. And I think also It's a Small World was her as well, I think. But she's done a lot. You will recognize her work whether you know it or not.
Here, I'm gonna pull up, put some up on screen. She did some for Cinderella as well.
Beautiful designer.
Incredible,
and then other
incredible artist.
Incredible artist. Another artist who's modern and currently still alive and working, who's my favorite illustrator, is Joey Chu, and he does a lot of Disney stuff as well, and very heavily influenced by Mary Blair. So he's probably my favorite illustrator. But outside of that realm, I think weirdly it's functional design. So like city engineering is weirdly fascinating to me, of like learning about traffic patterns and where to put roundabouts and shade coverage and things like that. I don't know if you want to count that as an art, but it is fascinating to me.
By the way, all of this is Joey Chu. It's very, very influenced by Mary Blair, just like she said. Yes. Sorry, were you still going?
No, I'm good. I could keep going if you want me to.
I love talking about art, obviously.
I could talk for hours.
Yeah, same. But yeah.
What about you? What are your favorites?
Oh goodness, I don't even know. Like, I'm a big fan of like I don't even know what to call it because I wasn't as much into animation as you were. So, the art style where it's the hand-drawn animation, like for example, the 101 Dalmatians, the original in the 60s. I love that. I love when it's rough and you can see like it's animated, but you can see it moving and you can see the pencil marks. Oh my god, I just want to eat that up.
So, fun fact about 101 Dalmatians, that is the first animated movie where they had a Xerox machine. And
Really?
that changed a whole lot. Partly it
Oh,
added
so
that textured element that you're talking
love
about.
it.
And also partly that allowed them to copy frames and
Mhm.
do animation a lot faster.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they were able to do a lot more, thus the 101 Dolls.
Oh my god. So I love that style so much where it was like rougher and it was like you could tell somebody with a pencil was in there. And I
Yeah.
love that so much because there's so much heart to it.
Yeah.
And um yeah, that just gets me every time. I'm like, why can't we
Yeah.
have that anymore? Because I don't feel like particularly the like new Disney movies, they just don't do it for me because
I can't watch them.
there's no heart there. There's
Mm-mm.
like I can't tell that somebody was in there with like any form of talent. You know,
No,
like I can't
I'm
see
gonna
it.
call it. I don't think it has a proper name, but I'm gonna call it the Penn and Teller effect, where once you know how something is done, it should make it better.
Mhm.
And I call it the Penn and Teller effect because one of their most known tricks, or at least back in the early days, was them doing and explaining the cups and balls,
Yeah.
which is a very classic magic trick where you're just moving 3 cups around and the ball moves. They're doing it, they're explaining exactly how it's done. But as they're explaining it, you're watching it and you're like, I still don't know how you're doing it. This is amazing.
Right.
And those old school animation, that gives that same effect of like, once
Yes.
the more that you learn about the behind the scenes, the more you fall in love with how it was made,
Yes.
versus the 3D stuff is just like,
It doesn't do it for me.
no.
I can't see the human behind it. And I'm like, I'm
Nope.
sure everybody working on this is extremely talented. I just can't see your talent because it's too polished.
Yeah. And what's really sad is like when you see all the previs and all the beautiful, beautiful, skilled artwork that goes into the previs
Mhm.
and the like behind the scenes of the movie, it is so gorgeous. And art has come a long way
know.
since those hand-drawn animations.
Yes.
But we don't get to see it.
We
Because all we
don't.
see is the 3D renders.
I just want to see a different animation style. And I think that's one of the things that I love so much about like indie gaming. Like
Yeah.
cozy games particularly have some of the best graphics.
I agree.
Because there's such interesting animation styles and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this one's hand drawn, this one's painted, this one's in stained glass. Like I just got one from the Steam Spring Sale to play where it's like it's called alchemy potion simulator or something like that. It's about alchemy. Anyway, it's like it's like a scroll with like ink on it. It's like medieval. It's so cool. And I just want to see different like animation in movies as well. Like do you remember when it was a short. I don't remember which movie it was before, but it was Paperman. Do you remember Paperman short?
I do remember the short. I don't know what movie it paired with, and it's likely that I
Couldn't tell
didn't
you.
see it, but Paperman was iconic.
Paperman was so good, and I wanted a full feature length movie like that. You know, like because that was so different. But we never see that. But yes, I love the old like Disney movie style where you can see the pencil. I love that so much. That just really gets me. It's almost like for music people, you might understand like when you listen to a record and you can hear like the scratching sounds and that just really like scratches an itch in your brain. That's what that does to me. Like when I watch one of those movies, I'm like, ah, yes.
And when you can actually hear like, oh, they made one or two mistakes in there, but otherwise a phenomenal performance, you can tell that it was like live humans and this is how they sounded.
Yes.
Versus like the overly produced, overly polished, like it sounds good, but it's not, it doesn't have a life to it.
No, I'm talking about the animators who put their own blush on Snow White, you know? Like, I'm talking about the people who like had their hands on the art. I love that. Yeah. So that's I love that.
I will say, before we move on to drag this out even longer, another art like animation style that if you haven't seen it already, I think you would love. They were inspired by it for that animated sequence in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, where it's the three brothers, and it's a very silhouette style. They did a beautiful job on that sequence, and that was influenced by one of the first animators, arguably the first animator, but that's a different podcast. Lot Reiniger, REI something, I don't know, I'm not going to try and spell it out loud. But she was, I think, German, but she did shadow puppets, which sounds really boring, but she did like a paper doll style silhouette stop motion animation, which was incredibly intricate and incredibly complex and just very, very beautiful. So I would heavily advise looking her up.
That is super cool. Now, that is one thing that I cannot handle is stop motion animation. I hate it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I would say there's good ones and bad ones.
Yes. I have a vendetta against Tim Burton specifically.
That's fair enough.
Hate everything that has ever come from that man's mind. So I can't do stop motion animation because of him. No, awful, terrible. It scares me. All right, let's see. What's your favorite sticker that you've ever made?
I'm trying to remember what I've made.
You've made a lot.
I've made a lot to me, but not a lot to like an actual sticker shop. Which like some people have like thousands of stickers. I'm like, you have too much.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how do you have the time? I haven't drawn a sticker like all year.
Also, like, who's sifting through these Etsy shops with thousands of listings and actually accomplishing anything? Because those are like, you stumble across one or two listings, but then the rest just kind of get lost.
They do. They really do. And it's honestly a shame because a lot of these people, like, they're really talented and have really amazing things.
That's why I'm like, if you do like seasonal releases, that makes more sense. Anyway, I'm driving us off course.
No, you're fine. Keep going.
The one that's out that I like, that does not get a lot of love on my shop.
Oh, I love
is
that
this
one.
ramen sticker.
Yes.
Because I think it came out really nice.
It did. I love that sticker. The moment you sent it to me, I stuck it in my journal. Love that sticker.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. What inspired you to start your Etsy shop?
I mean, to keep it optimistic, it was an avenue that allowed me to make my own choices.
Yeah.
And that was hard to come by.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Favorite Nancy Drew game? If you have like a top 3 or 5, that's fine as well.
I feel like that one changes a lot. My favorite environment by far is Kapu Cave because I just love anything tropical. And Ransom of the Seven Ships for the same reason, just the environment.
Fair.
Maybe also the music is cool too.
Oh yeah, the music is super fun in both of those actually. Yeah.
So environment and ambiance. We'll just
delicious.
As
yes.
for gameplay itself, that one's hard and it changes a lot. I think right now, if I was forced to pick one, I would probably say Shadow Ranch.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, because you have like a good balance of like characters that are fun to talk to and characters where you're like, this is a character. And then you have like a lot of a decent balance of puzzles
Yeah.
and going to different environments and actually like being able to piece things together where like the puzzles make sense.
Yeah.
And then like the lore behind it has a lot.
It's a good game. It's a nearly perfect game in my opinion, so.
Except for those darn vegetables.
You know, I don't actually mind the vegetables. I just feel like that there is one game better, and that would be Last Train. So, Shadowrun can never be a perfect game because Last Train exists. But that's just me, so.
As you know, to each their own. I feel like Last Train, when it first came out, I was not a fan, but
Really?
it has grown on me. It is the one that's grown on me the most.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite non-Nancy game? Like, do you game otherwise?
Yes and no. I used to be huge into like that was what I wanted to do when I was hanging out with people was like let's play a game.
Yeah.
And anything story based was my favorite. If I was forced to pick an absolute favorite, it was probably Tomb Raider or things like that.
Those are great.
Yeah, because I loved the adventure aspect of it. And when I was younger, Tomb Raider 2 was one of the very few computer games that we had, and we played it with my dad, and that was just really fun. So it's also got the nostalgic element to it.
I love that. Those are good games. I haven't played one of those in so long.
Yeah. It's been a while since they made one, to be honest.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah. Jeez, I wonder if that's gonna come back.
I hope so. There's always rumors. I don't know what's a reality or not.
I can't keep up with game
Neither can I.
places. Like, just do your thing, and when you announce a game, I'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any hobbies outside of art?
So I will take this moment to get back on my soapbox about burnout.
Okay.
Because part of the problem that took a really long time to identify was realizing that my entire identity and person and existence had gone into how to get a job, how to keep a job, and how to get the next job.
Yeah.
And in the art world, or at least in the realm that I was in, if you weren't working 24/7, you weren't working hard enough.
Yeah.
And that is not a healthy mentality.
No.
If anyone else has that mentality, stop. So I'm slowly trying to rebuild myself and hobbies and actually enjoying doing things, even if they are art, doing it not to make money. And not with the intent to get a job, but just because I enjoy doing it. So right now that's very few things. Even things like taking time to like play Animal Crossing or other cozy games often feels like a waste of time, which again, not healthy and not true. So that's it's hard, but it's something that I'm trying to get back into. I used to love video games. When I was a kid, love is a strong word. I liked reading when I was a kid, and depending on the book, it can be a lot of fun and just very much pull you in. And then the project that I'm working on right now has been the most fun that I've had in a while, of just physical art projects. The Lemur, yeah. For anyone who missed the Lemur talk, I'm making Zaboomafoo, so
it's so good.
For you. Because it is something physical, and like with digital art, you don't get anything out of the end of it. You get the file, and that's it. So to be making physical projects and physical products as well is helpful. But yeah, it's hard, and I'm working on it. It's the short answer.
I mean, that's a good answer though. Yeah. The next question is simply, show us your cat.
Let's see if we can. Ignore how messy my office is.
Oh, you're fine. Oh my goodness, I see her. little.
She currently has, if you notice the dot on her, I explained it to Susie, I think,
Yeah.
before stream, but for stream. It's a diabetes monitor. She has diabetes. We're currently trying to get her back in a healthy glucose range because we think, is becoming insulin resistant. So that's the short answer. It's a
Ugh.
diabetes monitor.
Poor thing.
She
Yeah.
turned upside down.
Cats, man. I love cats. I'm such a cat person. Like, my in-laws are here today. I'm actually at my in-laws' house. Oh, she's so cute. But they were here today with their dog, and, like, dogs are great, but I am just such a cat person. Like, she was swimming in the water and then, like, kept coming near me, and I was like, why are you doing that?
Don't touch me.
And then she came and, like
Even just
hung
their
out in my
tongues.
lap.
Like, if a cat wants to lick you, they have a really dry tongue.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is uncomfortable, but it's not gross.
Yes, this dog, love her. She's very cute. She's very sweet. She's a border terrier. Great dog. Okay. She knocked my 3-year-old down and, like, smooched him, and he asked to brush his teeth. It was so cute.
That's amazing. I relate to that.
So I'm such a cat person. I do like dogs. I really do.
I love dogs. I love other
Dogs are
people's
great.
dogs.
Yeah, I love little dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Like
little to like
cat-sized dogs?
medium-sized dogs. Yeah. Big dogs, I love that other people love them.
You're like, can I pet your dog for 5 minutes and then walk away?
Exactly. I appreciate big dogs from afar.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Love that for you.
However,
love
if I'm
that
going
journey for you.
Yes, love that journey for you. However, if I'm going to have a dog, I want it to be like 35 pounds or less.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I will confess that my partner loves big dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at some point in life I may be coerced into a big dog house.
Yeah. John too. John loves a big dog. He's like, but you can wrestle with them, and I'm like, okay.
And then like some people are like, oh, they just have bigger personalities, and it's like, no,
They have
They
personalities.
bigger paws.
Yeah, they have huge paws, and they step on you, and they think
And
they're
they
small
slobber
dogs.
so much.
They slobber so much. Oh my gosh, I know. And then walking a big dog, I'm not the largest person, so that's not easy. I used to like
I'm
go to
5'8", and I'm still like,
You're
no.
so tall. Oh my gosh. Well, you got 6 inches on me, so. But like,
I'm used to getting that from
Yeah.
my female friends.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend one time who was 4'8". That was the most amusing to me. Like, I could fit you in my pocket.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Now, her with a big dog would be comical.
I know. Like, it would be walking her.
Yeah, literally. Oh my goodness. No, I used to go to the Humane Society in my town and like just volunteer walk the dogs.
Yeah.
But typically they've got big dogs. You know, small dogs don't last very long in that environment. They're usually adopted very quickly, which is awesome. However, these big doggies also need loving homes, so like go adopt you a doggy.
Yeah.
But like I was walking like pitties, and I was like, "Y'all rocking me." So I haven't done it in
You're like, if you want to get a squirrel, you're getting that squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done it in like 3 or 4 years because I have a toddler now, and I just can't handle that. So like John will take Liam sometimes, and they'll go walk dogs together.
Aw.
I don't think I can do that. Yeah, but you know, if you love a big dog, I love that for you. I want
I have
all of the
nothing
dogs to have
against
homes.
big dogs. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think they're evil. I don't think they're
No.
out to get you. I don't think they're
No.
gonna hurt anybody on purpose unless they're
No.
specifically trained to do so.
Right.
Um,
Like the
but-
bully breeds, they don't bother
Yeah.
me.
They're
good
teddy bears.
doggies. They're good
Yeah.
doggies. They
They're
deserve
little
loving homes.
sweethearts.
Yeah, they are. They're
They
wonderful.
just slobber a lot, and
They do.
I just squeeze out.
They do. Oh, but you know what I love is like a little teeny dog.
Yeah.
Like
you're a little muppet, aren't you?
I had a Pomchi, and she was my darling. Like,
Aw.
oh, I loved her. She was weedle.
I love the tiny little dogs that like they don't know where they are. They have a one brain cell.
Those are
It's just, like,
great.
happy to be alive.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
Story Retold is here and wants to ask you, what phone friend would you like Nancy to call in a future game?
Oh.
That's a good question.
Is this like pre-existing or am I making somebody up?
How about both?
Pre-existing. I love Eustacia and Drop Off.
Oh,
She's such an icon.
yes. I love
Like,
her.
I have an air horn and I will deafen you.
The, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
no complaints.
She is an icon. As for like a future made-up character, I don't know. I've been having I got to bring it back to lemurs. We'll call the lemur people.
Wait, could we call the Crab Brothers?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
That would be.
Guys, we need Nancy going to a zoo.
Yeah. She interacts with surprisingly few animals in the series.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Okay. 2 more questions and then we will do another round of game and then we will be done. What's your dream vacation?
Anywhere tropical.
Yeah.
I love the tropics. It's just so like calming and peaceful and nice and colorful
Mhm.
and warm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a Mary Blair piece of art.
It is. I love all the color.
Mhm.
I will clarify beachside, not in the middle of a rainforest.
No.
Because as beautiful and wonderful as rainforests are, they are also full of millions of bugs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is fair. All right. Here's a fun question for you. You're on a road trip with Rentaro, Frosty,
Frosty. Okay.
Frosty, and Millie from Staging
Millie
for Danger,
Stratford?
Merrily Stratford. Who is in charge of the snacks? Who is in charge of the map? And who has the aux cord?
Okay, can we leave Rent-A-Row at like a gas station? Okay, so snacks, the music, and
And the map reading. You're the
the
driver.
map reading.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm the driver.
You're the driver.
And we have Rent-A-Row, Millie,
And
and
Frosty.
Frosty. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like either Rent-A-Row or Frosty would be okay with the map.
Okay.
Millie, I would not trust her with the map for a second.
No.
Millie actually might be good with the snacks or the music. I would trust her with either one,
Really?
but probably more the music because I like old music.
Ooh. I
I would
wonder.
be okay with that playlist.
What if she's like one of those like metalhead grannies?
You know, or show tunes.
It might be
I'm
show
gonna say
tunes.
something very diverse here.
It's
I'm not a show tunes person. So there is the danger there. So for that reason, I might give. Because I don't know what Frosty would be into.
Oh,
He
Frosty
could go in any direction.
Frosty could not be into anything good.
So do we give to Rent-A-Row and just hope he's into like J-pop or something?
Renter is probably into J-pop.
Okay, we'll give him the music. Just because at least it's tolerable.
Is it?
Compared to old show tunes of musicals you don't know and don't want to know. Or questionable, every single new song is a different genre, is I think what Frosty would bring to the table.
Really, I feel like he'd listen to Katy Perry or something equally horrible.
I feel like it would be a mix. It would be like Katy Perry for one song and then like Flogging Molly for the next one.
Oh my god.
And, like show tunes as the next one. It'd be like, I go by album covers. So Rent-A-Row for music.
Okay.
Does Millie do snacks or do no, I guess we can't trust her with maps, so Frosty has to be maps and then Millie has to be snacks.
Wow, I don't know if I want to trust Frosty with anything.
We abandon them all at a gas station and run the show.
Oh my gosh, no. I can picture Frosty belting out Whitney Houston type power ballads.
Yeah.
That would be so fun though. We need a game with a musician who is well known in the Nancy Drew universe, is involved in a stage show in a case somehow. That would be super cool. Man, if only you still worked there and you could.
Meister, but of a musician.
America says, why do I feel like Rentro would be really into really obscure, angry J-pop?
Also, yes, I see that.
Yeah, that could be.
Mhm. Or into like really artistic choices of this is a super modern cellist who only does like weird, I forget the word for it, but like different rhythms, you know?
Yeah. Oh no. Well, that is a super fun road trip, obviously.
It would be a road trip.
Would be a road trip, to be sure. All right, let's finish up with the last of our wheels here. So, okay, wait, am I showing this on the screen? Okay, good, I am. Okay, this is the wheel with all the ladies. And your options are... Okay, Bet Raleigh. Okay, she's pretty great.
She's great. I would not take her in a fight. She would win.
She would win. Oh, okay, Lisa Ostrom.
Also, she wouldn't fight fair.
No, she would not. She's got that spicy double villain venom. And finally, ooh, Frances Humber.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
For the aforementioned fighting reasons, I'm gonna have to fight Frances. Just for my own
you could
safety.
take her, yeah.
I could take her. I feel like I wouldn't be able to stand Lisa Ostrom for a long period of time. So again, I'm gonna have just process of elimination. I'm gonna have to kiss her, get it over with. Maybe
kiss
do
goodbye.
a frog situation.
Yeah.
And then marry Bet Raleigh.
Well, I mean,
she's an icon.
She's one of the very, 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 very few people in the Nancy Drew universe who is in a healthy relationship. So.
Also, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What other wheels did we have here? We've got... Oh, yes. We have the booty wheel. Okay, now do you want to rank on a scale of 3 or 5?
It's unlikely I'll remember all 5 at once.
So 3. Okay, but you're doing these one at a time, just so you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I will not remember all 5 on the board.
Okay. All right, so 1 being the best and 3 being the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can't know who's coming next. Okay, we're starting off real classic, iconic with Yanni.
Oh, okay. I mean, he has a very identifiable butt.
He really does.
And it's out there.
It is.
So I feel like, what's our criteria? Are we basing it on, like, is it a good butt, or are we going on, like, Footpedia rules? I forget the word for it. Where, like, you get a higher rating just because you have more out there. Like, you can see the foot really well.
I think that it's based off of whatever criteria are important to you.
I think for clarity, we're gonna have to go by WikiFeet rules, and in that case, unfortunately, I have to place him at number 1. He has the most visible butt.
He really does.
He does.
Yeah.
It is not only, like, framed well in the screen, but it is also, he's wearing a tight ski suit.
They put a lot of care into
They sure did.
crafting.
Somebody crafted that booty.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so right off the bat, we've got number 1, so it can only go down from here.
It can only go down from here.
Oh my god, you got another iconic one with Monique, the booty vendor from Danger by Design.
Danger by Design, okay. I would say I'm gonna have to place her third only because she's not one that I immediately think of.
Okay, she's the one that I immediately think of.
I feel like it's because I never play Danger by Design.
Oh, I love Danger by Design, but like also she's so iconic.
She is. She really is.
She is.
When I think of like who's on the booty wheel, whose butt do I know the best?
It's probably Yanni.
Like, Yanni is miles ahead of her. There's got to be a chasm there.
Yeah. Last one is gonna be your number 2 no matter what. It's Lewis Chandler.
From
That's sad.
Mansion.
Yeah, from Haunted Mansion.
I mean, when do we see his butt?
So when you're looking through the peephole, and you're spying on him, yes, he's like going through his briefcase.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go look at his butt later.
Go play the game again just to see.
just for the butt.
Yeah. You were so close to one that I've been waiting to come up, though. I've been waiting for the yellow suit guys from Creature of Kabu Cave to come up.
Oh, that one would have been good.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one.
Sad. All right. Let's see here. So the last wheel is, in fact, ranking games without knowing what's coming next. Do you want to do top 3 again?
Sure.
Okay. Same rules. Okay. Your first game is The Haunting of Castle Beloy.
Oh, that's I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna say something controversial and yet so brave. It's number 3 for me.
That's fine.
I really don't like that one.
That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Oh my goodness. It's not my favorite either. It's a good game. I mean, they're all good games. Okay. Next option is The Captive Curse.
I'm gonna risk it and put it at number 2.
Really? So
Yeah.
you only have number 1 left. What if
I
it's
only-
Midnight in Salem?
Go big or go home.
What if it's Midnight in Salem, though?
Go big or go home.
Oh, no, it's a good one. It's Danger on Deception Island.
There you go.
You made the right
Easy
choice.
number 1.
You made
Yeah.
the right choice. Oh, this wheel can be tricky because some people will leave one for last and then they get Ransom of the 7 Ships.
I mean, but at least that one has the environment.
I mean, yeah.
You just ignore all of the other components.
Holly says
You
Justice
just
for
turn it
Mid.
on for ambiance.
Oh my goodness, wait. Holly, you're going to be coming on the show soon, so you can explain if you love Mid. I will give you an audience to, like, justify Midnight in Salem for us. That would be wonderful. I would love to have that happen.
I
Okay.
feel like if you haven't played any other Nancy Drew games, Midnight in Salem is not that bad.
Oh, it's a great game as a game.
Yeah. It's just you can't know about any of the other Nancy Drew games.
You can have never played Curse of Blackmore Manor. That's just the rule. No, actually, so I've said this several times on my channel. As somebody who helps run the Facebook fan group, I see a lot of people, like, answered the questions to come in the group, say that their favorite game is Midnight in Salem because it's the only one they've played because they're brand new to the series and they've only played the most recent game. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a great game. It really is. It's just not what we expected.
Yeah.
Which is
Like,
why
I
we're
see
so
both
rough on it.
sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good game. It's not my favorite to play because I feel like there's just way too much dialogue for me personally, but
Yeah.
I'm a puzzle girly, which is why I will actually go to bat for Saturn Medallion.
I only played that when it came out, and I have not played it or seen it since.
Yeah. Also, Ransom. I will go to bat for the puzzles in Ransom, like any
The
chance I
puzzles
get.
are not the worst part of Ransom.
They're the best part of Ransom, in my opinion. They're really good. So, yeah.
And playing with the monkeys?
Do you like playing with the monkeys?
I mean, they don't play fair, but yeah.
Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I'm like, I want this to end. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
okay,
it,
well.
it can go on a little bit, and then I feel like that's where my heart is like, you're not playing fair. You're
No.
cheating.
Yeah.
You're a cheaty little monkey.
Yes. Literally. They're not the cool lemurs like
They're not.
we
This is
have been talking about tonight.
Another of many reasons why lemurs are superior to monkeys.
They are obviously superior.
Obviously.
All right, everybody. So that is it. That's the show. So definitely go give her a follow if you haven't already. And check out her Etsy shop. It's amazing. The quality is so good. So good. Makes good gifts as well. If you have Nancy loving friends, those pins. I gave the pins to my sister for Christmas and she loved them, or for her birthday rather. Yeah. So good. So good. So good. So good. And yeah, so that's all that I have got. Be sure to join me next week because I'm going to be with somebody else cool. Let's find out who it is because I don't keep these things in my brain apparently. Oh, I'm going to be with Holly next week. So I will be with Very Niche Musings next week, and she will give us her argument for Midnight in Salem, among other things. So be sure to tune in then. It's going to be super fun. And yeah, you know, the YouTuber stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. It's good stuff. Do you have any parting words for us, Caitlin?
I feel like we've learned a lot here today. And if you're curious about lemurs, indulge in that curiosity because lemurs are pretty cool.
Lemurs are pretty cool. Maybe also go back and rewatch Zaboomafoo because it's worth it. Yeah. It's on
It holds up.
Prime for free. The first season is on Prime for free.
It's also on YouTube, but it's not great quality.
Yeah. You literally just said it was me, girl. I love you in your pregnancy brain. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for dealing with me and in my pregnancy brain. Y'all want to see the bump? Hold on. He's big.
You're hiding a baby in there.
I know. There's like a full-size like
You're smuggling
baby
a
person
human
in
inside
there.
of you.
Literally. One of my coworkers keeps calling her my parasite.
I mean,
you're not wrong.
biologically, it's pretty close.
Not wrong. I literally
You're not
cannot
wrong.
argue.
I know they're a lot more beloved than a parasite.
Yeah. Because she
They do a
will
lot to
eventually
your
leave.
Eventually, she will leave.
Very soon, in fact, she will leave. That's why this season is so short. Anyway, okay, everyone. That is all. Goodbye. I will see you next time. And have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye.